again, key things about being practical in terms of what kind of scale of topic that you're trying to address, what kind of space are you working with, what resources have you got. Topicality also, I think, very important. Are there wider anniversaries that will gather people's attention or bring audiences to you, or key moments locally, especially if you're looking at the history of, say, of a local area or football club.
If you are looking to create a temporary sporting exhibition, I would say right at the start you need to think about who your audience is going to be, and once you know who your audience is going to be, working out what the interests of that audience might be, and that's what you should use to shape your sporting heritage temporary exhibition. So if you think about whether your audience might be children and families, whether it might be visitors to your town, whether it might be people who already know about the sport, so the way that you would frame a temporary exhibition for people who already know about the sport is very different from if you know that your audience is going to be people who are new to it. So you need to know who your audience is to be able to develop it.
My advice would be, why are you doing the exhibition? Who's it for? What language are you going to use? How do you want to interpret? What stories do you want to tease out of the stuff you've got? And how do you want to articulate those stories to different audiences?
I think modern technology has given us the chance to engage with our communities and our audience in a way that was inconceivable 5 years ago, even 2-3 years ago. Everything is changing so rapidly, and part of the danger is that you try to engage with too many people. It's very easy just to stick something on the web and not know who is looking at it or how are people going to find you. So I think you have to be quite specific about what channels of communications are you going to use to alert people to what you're doing. You need to engage with part of the skill, I think, is to engage with other like-minded people at conferences like this, for example, because you can bet your boots out of 10 speeches or papers that are delivered at a conference like this, you will get at least 3 or 4 that can offer you some sort of solution or help with your own project. So I think it's not so much where you're going to go at the end of it or who you're targeting, it's how you're going to reach them. That's the important thing.
Engaging the communities was just making people aware of what we were doing and the work we were doing trying to improve the collections. We were very lucky the last 2 years. Cardiff Blues have run something called Summerfest where they launched their kit for the next season. So we've definitely had a presence at that. We've opened up the trophy room. Myself and my colleagues have sat in there where we've brought the laptops with the website on. We've had videos running. We've had people there to talk about the collections and the work that we're doing. And that's attracted people who've never seen the collection before, never been allowed into that room, and it's all age groups, right the way from the youngest to people coming in and reminiscing about matches they saw 50 years ago. But it's baby steps at the moment because we're just getting the thing in place. Of course, outside of that, it is making everything available through the website.
Lots and lots of organisations, believe it or not, sporting organisations, don't have museums. I mean, Glamorgan here has a centre. There's one at Gloucestershire. Of course, we have a wonderful museum. Of course, I would say that wonderful museum. I think you've got to have something tangible for people when they visit the stadium to come and see. They need to be able to see in context trophies, scorecards, which explain to them about the history and heritage of the clubs. So I think that's really important, having a focal point for your heritage, but also having an online presence as well. For people who can't physically visit your museum, it's really important that you try and get the message and the information about your museum out to disseminate it as widely as possible.